Yo, what up, my people? It's your boy Radical. Now I'm back with another video, and this is something that I've been, people been hitting me up with, and I watched the whole clip now, and I got a better understanding. First of all, Tariq Nasheed, he's one of these grifters out here that likes to portray he's for his people, but yet hires everybody else to do his to do his job for him or whatever the case is. Pays everybody else but his own people. You feel me? And he likes to twist history around in order to, basically put his people up and in this false self of false self of gratification, which is stupid, because if people actually did something, I should get credit for it. Don't make things up to get credit for it. That doesn't make any sense. But he likes to go against Latinos and our accomplishments and downplay it, or just straight up reject it. If it's a black Latino that did it, he'll just say he's a black person. But if it's just a brown Latino that did something that helped everybody, he's gonna either lie about it or just downplay it. You feel what I'm saying? So he basically said that during Hispanic Heritage Month, I don't like that word, Hispanic Latino Heritage Month. Let's just say that. Um, Westminster and the Mendez case, Mendez versus Westminster, right? Did not help California get desegregated, and also didn't help whatsoever. It didn't help the Brown versus Board case to actually get passed to help desegregate schools. Now, again, that's a complete lie. You guys could basically go through history and read everything else, and you will see that is completely false. Now, there are certain things that Tariq Nasheed said in the segment, in this part, that I am gonna let play. I'm gonna pause it here and there to give you my commentary, but there are some things that he said that is true, right? And I'm gonna give it some context. The thing is, he doesn't give it context onto it, which is true. Certain things is true, but he doesn't give it context, and he just leaves it out there just so people could just wonder and go like, oh well, how come this happens? You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't give it context. I'm going to give it some context because I did some deep research. I even had a whole podcast episode dedicated to this whole thing. And I went through the good and the bad, through the whole history. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely going to link that below so you guys can hear it and see where I'm coming from with it. You know what I'm saying? But let's not be confused. I'm gonna talk about the good and the bad, about the first why the family did what they did, and I'm gonna be truthful about it. You know what I'm saying? And also how they ended up changing their mind later on. You know what I'm saying? But let's go focus on what this grifter basically has to say, and then I'll break it down.
Almost 8 decades ago, in an area where the courthouse stand, a Mexican-American couple brought a lawsuit that ended school segregation in California and was later used as the blueprint for the Brown versus Board of Education landmark ruling. This is complete horse crap.
It's not horse crap. He's just mad the Latinos helped out black folks to get their thing done. He's just mad about it, and it's not horse crap. I'm gonna prove to you that it's not horse crap. And this is the case that was used as a precedent in order to get Brown versus Board, that landmark ruling. Well, let's keep it going.
This isn't true. Family, this isn't true at all. Family, this is not true what these people are saying in this article.
Mind you, he's not going to show no evidence on why is it not true. He's just going to talk his ass off. That's basically what it is, but let's keep it going.
Welcome to Flatiron School. This is where you learn how the future works, where the whole point of
the case was a landmark case for Mexicans out here because the Mexican community were basically fighting for their right to be recognized as white. That didn't end school segregation in California. No.
Let me correct him on that. It did end school segregation in California, but he's wrong on that. But he is right on the fact that that Mexican family was fighting the fact to be white and to be treated as white. The fact that this is the thing about white supremacy that I keep on telling some of my lost Latinos out there. They could accept you, they could be friends with you and all that other stuff, but at the end of the day, they know that you're not one of them. They are fully aware of that. You're the one that's confused. You know what I'm saying? You're the one that's confused. You're the one that has this dual, not only allegiance, but this dual battle within yourself. Talking about this person definitely has my back and all this other stuff, even though he talks bad about my own people, in front of me, and I accept that. He doesn't see me like that. BS. They all see y'all like that. But anyway, he is right on that part. Now, let me give you some context. He doesn't give us some context. He just goes along with it, right? Because to him, but context fucks his whole argument up. So he is right on that. The fact that in the beginning, the Westminster school was segregating Mexican students, regardless of the fact if they were white. They weren't getting no white benefits. Let's keep it real. Some people were getting white benefits. Some Latinos passed as white, white passing, and some didn't. You too brown, you better not be around. You know what I'm saying? So that's what ended up happening. So the Latino Mexicans, they weren't going. They were getting segregated. They were going through a different part of the school. You can't be here with the whites, even though on paper you are. You gotta be somewhere else. So the family said, "Yo, this is messed up. First of all, our kids are not getting the proper education. That's one. You're repeating the same thing they learned 3 years ago. They're not getting educated. Two, the classroom is a complete mess. It's all messed up. Three, sometimes the kids are just in the classroom with no teacher there, no supervision. They're just doing whatever they want. So these kids are not really getting educated. So they had a proper gripe, right? So they had a proper gripe. They had a proper reason to feel some type of way. Now, this is the thing, though. They said on paper, and this is documented, if we are white, how come we are not being treated as white? That was their initial argument. Their initial argument was that, and they sued the school for that. Now, let me let y'all know. There was 2 lawsuits. Actually, no. Altogether, there was 3 lawsuits. The first 2, they lost completely. They lost completely because their whole strategy was that it was just for them. They could care less about other Latinos. They really didn't care about other Latinos. They only cared about their family, and they only cared about their little girl. That's all they cared about. Hey, I don't care about what's going on with everybody else, but my little girl's got to be in that classroom. And that's where the lawsuit started. They lost the first 2 because they did it the wrong way. And the judge even said, I believe the judge at that time used the Dred Scott decision. Just because white folks could do it doesn't mean you could do it. You know what I'm saying? Even though you're classified as white, that protection wasn't there, right? Later on, because they started to get more of a camaraderie with some of the lawyers and civil rights lawyers that were coming in. There was a NAACP lawyer that was presented to the family and said, "You have to do it this way. This is how the fight should go." And he convinced the family in order to fight a certain way and word it a certain way. And that's how the whole thing changed. Where they said, not only should we be fighting for Latinos, like all Latinos, but we should be fighting for black folks and all that other stuff. And that's how California start becoming desegregated, because they won that fight. Because after they won that fight, that's when they used, and I'm going to show y'all this right here. Right here. Although the impact Mendez case was limited, its real importance was to test the new legal arguments and evidence against segregation in public schools. Okay? Why was it limited? Because it only affected California. That's only affected. That's the only state that started affecting it. It started affecting California in a rapid rate. This paved the way for the historic Brown versus Board in Education case decided by the Supreme Court in 1954. Let's keep it 1,000. The Westminster and Mendez case happened first. Thurgood Marshall, who helped bring the case to the Supreme Court and was a member of the NAACP, used a brief on the behalf of the Mendez, other Mexican American children argue against black school segregation in the Brown case. As the Mendez case, he made an extensive use of the social science evidence demonstrating how segregated school harming minority children. It says it right here, black and white. It says it right here in black and white. So Tariq can say whatever he wants. I'm showing evidence. You feel what I'm saying? I'm showing evidence. So Tariq could go out and say this is not true and just talk his ass off. Go ahead. But I'm showing evidence. Let's keep it going with his lies.
That didn't end school segregation. That got the Mexican community. Their argument was, hey, don't put us in segregated Mexican schools, because what they did when some Mexican immigrants came over, they put them in little Mexican schools. They were like, oh, no. You guys are treating us like niggas. We're not like the niggas. We're white like you. I'm a white boy. Just like that first 48. No.
That first of all, their argument was not even that. See how he's adding bullshit onto it? It was segregated, like I told you. It was separate. They were on the other schools, but let's be honest. The black schools, the black separation was way worse. Was way worse. Latinos were white on paper, but at least they had a structure. Black kids were getting separated and they had to go like to the field or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was way different. Their argument was not that. So he's adding shit to it.
I don't gangbang. I'm a white boy like you and me. I'm white. We're white like you. So segregation is cool, just not us. That's what they were fighting for, and that's what they got. They got recognized as white, so okay, you can go to the white schools. They didn't stop segregation, and it had nothing to do with Brown and the Brown and the Board of Education ruling. We were fighting to just make things equal all across the board. We weren't fighting to be up with white zaddy. We weren't fighting for that. We were like, no, everything has to be equal. That's what we were fighting for. No, we don't want nobody mistreated. We don't want nobody to be deprived. We want everybody to have equal learning, equal opportunity, equal protection under the law. That's what we were fighting for with Brown and the Board of Education. So don't let them rewrite history. They were fighting.
The only one rewriting history is you, homie. The only one rewriting history is you, homie. And I just proved that they used that case, the Mendez versus Westminster, as a case precedent for Brown versus Board. So let's stop.
Fighting to be recognized as white. Hey, remember, we're kind of brown, but shit, we are white now. That's their argument. And remember, the LULAC organization, the biggest Latin American organization in the country, they were vehement about fighting for the right to be white, because in the 1930s, they changed the census from white to Mexican. And it was those Latino organizations that said, oh, no. We don't want to be a separate race. We want to be white. We want to be white. And then they got the right to be white.
Well, check this out. I want to see if he add context to it, because he's right on that. But let's see if he had context to that. Let's see.
Right. And LULAC, that organization, they actually brag on their website about fighting for the right to be white. Don't let these people fool you. People play this game.
Okay, so he's not going to say it. So the reason why LULAC at that time wanted to fight to stay white, because it changed later on, around the beginning of the 60s. It changed later on to the point where there was a PL 193 law that even came out saying that Latinos got to be separated in the census. Y'all not white, right? Okay, this all came out later. At that time, the reason why LULAC even did that is because they wanted to be protected, documentally, with paperwork. They wanted to be protected on the documents being as white. White people were being protected because they were white, so they wanted the same protections also, even though some were not being protected. There were others that was being protected. You know what I'm saying? Because they were passing as white or whatever the case is. So that was their argument. At a time where racism was super high and people were killing everybody else and all that other stuff, hell yeah. First of all, no, don't tell me no FBA is not going to choose to be white. You know what I'm saying? If they had the choice back then to be white on paper, they would have took it. Because guess what? There was a lot of FBAs that took that same position. You know how I know? Because there was a lot of mixed race individuals that even said, hey, yo, I'm white, to the point where they had to pass a ruling called the one drop law. Oh, white folks had to be like, hey, yo, listen, y'all could pretend to be white. If y'all not, we're going to make this law up called the one drop rule. You know what I'm saying? Because even black folks back then knew that it was all bullshit. Like, I'd rather be white to get protected. You feel me? So let's stop that bullshit right now. Talking about, oh no, they're the only ones. Don't come on now. The only one rewriting history is you, homie. But let's keep it going.
And act like they don't classify themselves as white and come around us lying. They come around us lying their asses off. They classify themselves as white. They classify themselves as white. They go out of their way to classify themselves as white, and then get around us like, I'm not white. I'm brown. No.
Again, he's lying on that, and he's not giving no context. We're forced to be classified as white, and I've proved this so many times. We're forced to be that. And even in documents, they put Latinos and Caucasians like together and all that other stuff. We're forced to be that. And I've proven this all. Look at my back history. I've proven this time and time again. Right? Now, let's look at something else that's very interesting, right? Because this buffoon, he said that, hey, California wasn't segregated. The Westminster people didn't do anything for California. They didn't do nothing. Well, I have it right here. You know what I'm saying? It says it right here. Mendez took illegal actions after their children were not allowed to enroll into the neighborhood school, Westminster. Their case, Mendez versus Westminster, will go on to outlaw forced school segregation in California. Let's keep it 1,000. This is what they ended up doing. I'm proving it right here. I'm not just talking out my ass. I'm actually proving it with documents right now. You know what I'm saying? So again, y'all can follow and listen to buffoons out here, saying one thing, talking about they know the spirituality of the Hotep and all that other stuff. They know how to read the Bible backwards, upside down, in 3 different languages and shit, without proving nothing, but yet stealing from their own community. You know what I'm saying? Without showing you proof. Or y'all rather listen to somebody that actually knows what the hell they talking about with evidence. You feel me? It's up to y'all, but I'm gonna catch y'all later. Tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Peace.